Greetings, everybody, and welcome to my new Stargate theme 3D printed project. This time, as you can see, we will take a look at a BC-304, or otherwise known as Daedalus-Class. Um, it was basically the only production series of spaceships that we, meaning Tauri, ever produced. We made 6 of them overall, lost one of them, and the rest should theoretically be still in use. Now, as with other Stargate team projects, my goal is to have the printed part to be without any support structure, any support material, and to be then easily assembled so that I don't need, to do basically anything with the parts after they are printed, with one exception, and that's painting, of course, because as you can see, the model will probably need some kind of painting. After all, you will see when we take a look at the model. I would like to say that this model was actually the most complex one I've done so far for my Stargate projects. Uh, it consists of 100 different parts and overall includes 323 individual parts, which is quite a lot. Not to mention the overall dimensions. Now, what I used as a reference point for the model is here are those pictures that I used. So here we have a side view, um, some 3D view that I used for some details, mainly on the front part. This is actually a model, but it was very useful for the belly part of the ship, so I uh, used it as a very good reference. It's the same ship, but now uh, from dorsal view, I guess. And here we have the schematics, I would say. So those were all the pictures that I need, sorry, that I used to actually make my own model. Oh, and this is the last one. I almost forgot it. So now we can go to Creo and take a look at the model itself. And now we're in Creo and this is the model. Now, as you can see, it is quite a detailed model with a lot of stuff attached to it. Yeah, I had to make few changes or some, well, adaptations. Thus, I would like to consider this like a Mark II of 304 class. One of the changes that I made was in, well, not one, but a few of the changes were here on the superstructure. I kind of made it more to my liking and more to be, well, easily printable. To be honest, the technology required for the 3D printing kind of dictated most of the thing during the design process. So there are, well, things that wouldn't need to be here, but are required in regards of the printing process. Now, the model is, as I said, consisting of 323 parts. It's once again designed in a way like a Lego, so it will all fit together. There should be no need for glue. However, considering the overall length of the model, it is possible that with time it could the parts could go loose, and if such a thing happens, then applying some glue probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But um, I can only say after I print it and after I assemble it and have it in assemble mode for some time. Now, as you can see, I already prepared something like a color scheme, so then I will know when I print it how to paint individual pieces. Now, I would like when I'm talking about the paint, it brings me directly to one point that I would like to make, and that's overall accuracy of the model. Now, 304 has 16 VLS tubes. Um, those are the tubes that fire rockets. Then 32 railguns. And last but not least, 4 Asgard plasma beam weapons. Now, when it comes to VLS tubes and railgun, railguns, there's probably no problem because they are very well visible on the ship itself, on on the model that was used in the show, or rather shows. So those here, as you can see, those are the railguns. I know they kind of look simplistic, but even though the overall length of the ship is quite substantial, I know I didn't say yet how substantial, the railgun themselves aren't really that big. That's why I had to simplify their design, or rather design of the barrel, so it looks like that. And there are indeed 32 of them on overall of the ships. So we have them here, 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 here on the bottom, and here on the superstructure, and they make an amount of 32 in total. So that's accurate. Another thing is 16 VLS tubes. As you can see, we have 16 VLS tubes. Now, each of those covers is an individual piece that is made because, as you can see, I have here those black and yellow stripes. So if I have them as individual pieces, it will be much easier for me to actually paint. So I will paint them and then I will insert them into their respective holes. There is no tolerance, so they should fit there very tightly. And last but not least are the Asgard plasma beam weapons. Now, the 304 have 4 of them. However, we only ever saw where 2 of them are stationed, the front one, and they are actually on this half spherical thingy. The strange thing is that this thing was present from the very beginning, since the 304 appeared. So from the very first appearance in Siege Part 3, as a first episode of the second season of Atlantis, they already had that. But there was no, well, mentioned purpose. But then, when they added the plasma beam weapons, the front one always emitted from here. So I basically took them as Asgard plasma beam weapons from here. And the problem is that 304 has four of them, but the first two are here, but the other two are somewhere in this area, and they were never shown directly where they are. And to be honest, their position is somewhat changing when you take a look from where the beam is emitting. That is why I decided to make uh, my own place, and as you can see, I added them here. But I know that's probably not correct because in the episode Enemy at the Gate, we can see when Daedalus attacks Super Hive that the beam emits from somewhere like here. But that's well, I would say that placing the emitter here would be extremely stupid because it would greatly diminish the possibilities for maneuvering of that turret. So I put it here, and I think that's not a very bad idea. So that would be the ornament. Mm, then we'll go to the belly. Now we have two main thrusters and side thrusters, just like it is on the model. It is all easily assembled. Now, in this video, I will not go in details on how this ship is actually assembled. For that, I will leave another video. And in this one, I would state finally the overall length because I was alluding to it. So, the overall length of the model from the tip of the main engine to the tip of the antenna is actually 63 centimeters. It's quite a big ship. I have to say that I was surprised by that. I didn't mean to make it so big, but well, I did. But it is divided into several pieces, so everything is printable on the printer that has the printable area of 20 to 20 to 20, so there should be no problem there. However, as you can see, it's quite a substantial model, so this will indeed take quite a long time to print. Not to mention that I was playing with the idea. As you can see here, we have the USAF sign on both sides actually, just like the real model. And I was thinking that probably here, in some of this general area, I could add a placard with the ship's name, so I can make this really my own ship. Just a side note, if I will add the ship's name, it would be Ares, after the Greek god of war, because it would be consistent with the naming of the ships, with, of course, the exception of the Hemond, which was named after General Hammond, but originally was called Phoenix. So it would be appropriate to have name like an Ares. Not to mention that it would be fitting for me because Ares is a Greek counterpart of Roman Mars, and Mars is the well root of my name because name Martin came from the name Mars, so it would make the ship really that much mine. But that's just a side note. But what I wanted to say is, if, for example, some of my friends will be or basically whoever would be interesting in having this model of their own copy, I could theoretically not only print this entire ship for them, but with their own name, which I guess would be preferable. Anyway, this is the ship. So the presentation, overall presentation of the ship. In the next video, I will show how it is assembled, how individual parts will fit together, and how will everything, well, hold together, because considering the length, I guess it would be, well, not that easy as with other prints, to say the least. But I have everything designed now, and I believe it should hold pretty well. And to use the term, the structural integrity should hold. Anyway, that should be all for now. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Before I go, I will just say that designing this thing took me roughly 3 weeks. First, I had to um, only, well, draw the model in its, well, current state, but as one piece, one solid piece, and then I have to cut it to individual pieces, make a few modifications in order for it to be printable without any support material, and so on and so forth. And as I said, overall it took me, well, little more than 3 weeks. And during those 3 weeks, I basically had to model almost every day, few hours, few hours each day. So it was really time consuming, but I have to say I extremely enjoyed the process. Anyway, that would be all for now. I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you, and we'll see each other in the next video. Bye bye.